technical difficulties today. Meaning just my favorite place I like to do this from is taken today, but that's alright. So we're hiding kind of in the bushes. Got a pretty backdrop still though. I'm worried that it's going to be a little loud, but I'm just pulling up our Facebook group so that I can pin, or so that I'm not actually going to pin in anything today. So I'm actually just doing some question and answer stuff. So I'm going to pull up what I did get a couple questions already, and I'm going to look and see if anyone pops on to the group. I took a few notes. Let's see. Looks like maybe I left my notes. Where did I leave my notes? All right. Well, we're just going to have difficulties all over the place, and that's okay. So I am going to see if anyone shows up live. And if I continue to have like a super large amount of difficulty, then I'm just going to start talking over what I kind of remember, because I did prepare a few things for us. So when we do have internet connection, it's just a little spotty. So let me show you the scene again. This is Geyser Park, where we're going to be for our walk on Saturday, tomorrow at 8:45. My technical difficulty is that there's people at my favorite little spot over there. That's the problem. So this is my, can you see my setup? This is my setup here. I love you guys. I'm sitting on an Aldi sack. I love Aldi's. If you guys want, I'll send you some videos I made of going shopping at Aldi's, because Aldi's is like my saving grace, really, for a lot of things. I've been doing Whole Foods a little bit more too, but you gotta watch how many dollars you spend when you get up there, because I can't seem to not spend like $12 or $13. So alright, so I am pulling up our comment about the question that we already got. If you're if you're there, sorry, if you're there, you can say hi, because I can't tell who you are because it doesn't tell me your name. So if you want me to know for sure that you're here, you can just say hi. And if you like anything I say, you can just hit a love heart. I love the love hearts because they show up on the replays. So also, okay. So I'm going to get into some question and answers about our healthy meal ideas. So I loaded everything onto SoundCloud, like audio version of what's in your book. So essentially, I wanted to just add in a few little comments about what I had there for breakfast, lunches, and dinners and snacks. And so I just wanted to take the time also now to just kind of go over that stuff again with you. When I made those lists, it was a couple years ago actually, and I've been using those lists like in some beginning programs for my clients actually. And then all of those food items are actual items that I eat on a regular basis, okay? And I'm sorry about the lawnmower, so if you can't hear me at all, just tell me. Of course they started mowing the lawns too. I'm just decided that this kind of just makes it all more fun, because I hate the office anyway. I hate offices. I don't even want a real office, I don't think. I could have like an art studio. But that's about it. So, all of this stuff, the breakfast, the lunches, the dinners, the snacks, they're all stuff that I actually do. So if some of it seems a little bit weird to you, go ahead and ask me questions, because sometimes I forget that drinking like a protein powder shake is gross or weird, and that some people just don't want to do it. So I'm going to send you guys a whole chunk of resources based off of the questions that we've had, and then also just some extra stuff, all stuff that I give my actual clients. And so what I think is going to be cool about doing courses like this is that I'm a precision nutrition coach, and I have tons of information that I can send you that I don't have to recreate myself, that I'm allowed to use just because I am a precision nutrition coach, and they do put out stuff to help us to coach you. Okay, so I'm going to send you a file in your email address, and then I'll copy again the email, and I'll put it in the group in case for some reason you're not getting the emails yet. Okay? So the question, I'll go ahead and cover the ones that I had like pre-sent in underneath the comments from the SoundCloud post that I made earlier today. So do you have any suggestions for making ahead or freezable breakfasts and lunches? I'm looking for things I could prepare on Sunday when I have the time and then be able to grab and take to work. So I think we had a little bit of a pause. So do you have any suggestions that I could make ahead or freezable breakfast and lunches? I'm looking for things I could prepare on Sunday when I have the time and then I'm able to grab and take to work. So yes, I'm going to just tell you some of my favorite things to do. I like to make ahead like scrambled eggs, and then I'll take like small wheat tortillas, and I make like two breakfast burritos. So I'll take like whole wheat tortilla or any kind of tortilla that you like if you want to use gluten-free or anything like that. The smaller ones, so it feels like you get more, and you could then that way you can get some protein in there. You could use the bigger ones, but I'd like to kind of have you keep your serving size not more than around 100 or 150 calories of the bread, if that would be all right with you. And then at least a couple eggs, maybe 3 eggs. So if you had at least 2 to 3 eggs within your 2 breakfast burritos or within your 1 large, that would be a really good combination to get protein and carbohydrate. And then if you put some veggies in there like spinach or onions or whatever you want, and then maybe just a light sprinkle of cheese, and then bring some salsa for the side. That's one of my very favorite ones. I do the same thing also with like, I use a lot of egg-based things, so if that's not kind of up your alley, you can kind of shoot me a message and I can give you some different ideas, but I use eggs because they're also kind of an affordable source. But I'll make egg sandwiches, so I'll take 2 to 3 eggs and either an English muffin or just bread, like whole grain bread if you can, and then do the same type of thing, add veggies to it or cheese on top. And you can wrap those sandwiches up in a paper towel and a plastic baggie, so I'll make them ahead. Same thing for the burritos. We had a little bit of a pause. The same thing for the burritos, and then put them in a Ziploc baggie and then take them. And you can freeze the burritos pretty easily. Sometimes the sandwiches are a little hard, but you could probably make 2 or 3, a couple sandwiches at once. So that would be like for breakfast. And then I'll send you a lot more stuff also, but like lunches for me, honestly, a lot of times they do end up being like a pasta or something like that that has like meat and a little bit of noodles and sauce because of, you know, my son and I'm busy on the go. But what my trick was, and what I put in the SoundCloud replays, and then in your book you'll see that if I've got pasta, then I'm putting it on top of a bed of spinach a lot of times. So I'll take like a 3/4 a cup, or like what I think my eyeball to be like a scoop in my hand. I'll take a bed of however much spinach, and then I'll take just a scoop of pasta, and then I'll kind of toss it to try to, if I'm trying to watch my calories just a little bit. Some of my own personal tricks, it depends on the time of year, like what I'm doing, on exactly what I might shift and do. So I'll freeze those. So I'll put them in little glass containers, just like 1 scoop, or like whatever you think might not be more than like 250 or 300 calories. Because once you get like some other veggies on the side, or add some more protein into it, that'll get you up to about 500 calories. You guys asked if you should look at calories or look at macronutrients. Honestly, I would like you to look at calories. 1,500 would be the minimum. But then for the macronutrients, I want you guys to check out that you're getting at least the minimum number of protein grams. Like for women, if you're not getting at least 60 protein grams a day, then you're going to be in, it's going to be hard for you to maintain your muscle mass and your bones, okay? And I'd rather see you get more, so I'm going to give you some ranges in the email that I send, okay? So I'm going to make it real simple, 1,500 to 1,800 calories, and then the very minimum amount of protein, because then you do have some freedom with those numbers. And then you can also go by like how your body feels as well. So the nice thing about like my recommendations is that I don't think there's a big need to do a diet that you hate or that doesn't make you actually feel good. And so if you guys think of any questions, ladies think of any questions as we're going, you can just put them in the comments or say hi if you're here, because I don't know exactly who is all here. So I see there are so many different diets out there, but I just want to feel better and give my body what it needs. So then essentially 15 to 1,800 calories so that you have the energy, the muscle mass, to be able to have a higher metabolism and also recover. And then at least 60 grams of protein. So serving sizes, what I would do is use your hand. And that's going to be some of the resources that I send you. Like, I don't measure anything, but about the size of the palm of your hand is around 20 protein grams. So not my fingers, but just like about the size of my hand and about the thickness of the hand also, okay? So that's going to give you 15 to 20 protein grams. So as you're looking at your protein, typically it's going to be animal protein, which would be the easiest to get a hold of, but it could be meat. It could be, you can get your protein grams plant-based with beans and such, and that would be a good idea maybe to actually do like a tracker or something. Hi, Sherry. So that would mean if you need at least 60 grams minimum, then you need at 3 different times of your day, maybe 4, you're going to want some protein about the size of that palm of your hand and about the thickness of the palm of your hand, okay? Now for carbohydrates, like starchy carbohydrates, the only reason I'm against starchy carbohydrates at all is just because they have extra calories. And so if you are trying to stay within 15 to 1,800 calories, if you sit down to a bowl of pasta, then you might end up eating like 1,000 calories without thinking of it, okay? So as you guys look at the meal patterns, you might see that once you get to about 3/4 a scoop of pasta, then you're getting close to 200 calories. If you get 3/4 a scoop of rice, then you're getting up over 250 calories. So if you are trying to watch your calories a little bit and you're not doing high intensity stuff, what you might try to do is that when you're at a meal, keep having little pauses, when you're at a meal, you want to have at least the palm of your hand of protein and at least what you could scoop of starchy carbohydrates on your plate. Hi. My phone likes to switch me over to wireless even when I want to be on data. Hi. So, where were we? I stood up for a second. We were at on your plate. So, and I'll edit this down. On your plate, about a palm, this much of protein on your plate. So it ends up being about that size, but only about the thickness of my hand, okay? Then starchy carbohydrates, which are like potato or noodles or rice, at least 1 scoop of that. If you're active, maybe 2 scoops of that, thinking about your hand. And then for healthy fats, like when you're doing, whether it's you're cooking with it or you're putting it on top, olive oil is always my go-to. It's the most affordable, and out of the most affordable, most affordable for like the nutrient breakdown. Second in line, canola oil's okay. I would rather olive oil. The rest of the oils have some bad points to them, except for some other like fancier things that cost a little bit more money. But out of the affordable oils, olive or canola if you can't get olive, okay? And so for that, serving size wise, at least 3 times a day, at least 1 time a day, but 3 different times, you want to be getting enough fat like the size of your thumb. So if it was in a pool, if it was oil, or if it was butter or whatever, at least 3 times a day you want to get the size of your thumb. So on your plate, there's that protein, there's the scoops of carbs, and then you want to get enough healthy fats in your day also. And then the rest of your plate, if you put fruits and vegetables, like if you're still hungry after that, I want you to have fruits and vegetables. So try to have at least a fist, 1 fist. All right. Hi again. God bless you for staying on here. On your plate. At least a fist of veggies. Maybe 2 fists, okay? But the palm size of protein, this 1 scoop of carbohydrate, the thumb of healthy fat, thumb size at least, and then a scoop of, then a fist size of veggies, okay? Which is better on olive oil, cold pressed or the other kind? I think officially cold pressed. To be honest with you, I haven't gone that far on worrying about it, but I can double check for you. I'm picking up my olive oil just at like Aldi and Trader Joe's, to be honest with you. So I try to care enough about what really matters in my mind, and then if it's this way or that way or a little bit this way or that way, then I try to leave it alone. Sorry. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Live questions. Okay. So all of those breakdowns of the sizes, those serving sizes I just named off to you, Precision Nutrition guides are what I have for those. And then that would keep you, though, without counting calories, around 1,500 calories. If you did that 3 times a day, where you put the protein and the starchy carbs and the healthy fat, and then you put that fistful of veggies, then that would keep you at least, if you did it 3 times, right around 1,500. It might be a little bit less, but you can add like a 4th meal on there or like a snack. That's why I wanted you to also have snacks. So I don't want you to worry too much about meal timing. I don't want you to worry about what time of day, really, necessarily. Like, it is good to eat breakfast. I would like you guys to try that if you're not. But the main reason I want you to eat breakfast isn't some big scary thing, but it's really just by the time you get home at night, you might end up eating more, and then you're sedentary right after that, and that can kind of cause some digestive problems. And so any good meatless options for your protein. So any of the beans, and I don't know if you should I'm not against meat, but any meatless options. That's where I kind of go for eggs, but you do end up having to cook it. So the beans are going to be your highest protein sources, and then also like in nuts and legumes are going to be kind of your main other ones, and there's a million different ones that you can try. So I'll also send you some links for some vegetarian options too, if that's helpful. But mainly it's beans and nuts, and then anything made from beans and nuts, like there's tofu, things like that. And then honestly, I do a protein powder at least 2 or 3 times a week, maybe even like once a day. Just like 1 or 2 scoops of protein powder, and it could be any kind, just because for me breakfast is like the hardest for me to get. So a lot of times I'm just doing 2 scoops of protein powder and some fruit in there. But I will send you some more vegetarian options. So before I said any of that, I said I didn't want you to worry too much about meal timing. I didn't want you to worry. I also don't want you to worry about eating every 2 hours. That's really not necessary. For some people, that makes you eat more or makes you feel hungry during the day. And for some people, that's causing, you're welcome, Karma. And for some people, eating every 2 hours is causing digestive problems to where they're getting inflammation of the gut. And I don't know if you hear leaky gut and stuff like that, but sometimes that's related to, well, the thought is that if you have more time in between your meals, one of the thoughts is that your body has like time to reset itself. Like maybe it's not good to just be eating constantly, okay? So that whole thing about feeding the fire of your metabolism, that's not the best thing to feed your metabolism. Is to just make sure you get enough calories in your day, but not too many calories in your day. Because if you get enough calories in your day, then you'll be able to maintain your muscle mass, okay? So I would like you guys to be a calorie burning machine through exercise, and speed up your metabolism that way rather than dropping your calories below 1500. As soon as they drop below 1500 and they get to 1200, then you might, if you're overly active, run yourself into some problems. So a lot of women have been going like down below 1500 and keeping it there for a really long time, and sometimes that ends up working. Or maybe they go on like the keto diet where you're taking away like fruits and taking away carbs, and it works for a minute, but the body just rebels up against all that stuff. So if you have specific questions about the different diets, like if you've been on one and you're not quite sure, the biggest thing with any of the diets that recommend that you don't eat carbs is that you become less able to eat carbs almost. So like the less you eat carbs, the less your body is able to process it, okay? So it is confusing. So all of this stuff I'm going to give you is just to balance it out, to be balanced and to just be a little bit more reasonable so that it's maintainable. Any other questions before I close up? And if you think of any more, you can type them in, and then basically my plan was to send you resources based off your questions. And I'm going to check anything on here. Okay, I'm going to check what time it is. Okay. So if there's not any more questions, I just want to thank you for sticking through with the technical difficulties of today. And then again, I kind of just enjoy being able to set up shop. I'm going to go pick up Jacob now. It's about 4:30, and he's not too far from this park, so that's why I kind of pick this park in particular, because it's pretty and it's not too far from Jacob. So, okay, thanks for joining me. I'll be sending you some more stuff, and then if you can come at 8:45 in the morning tomorrow here at Geyser Park, the invite is in our group. It's like at 130